What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Scale News Update. If you're not familiar with the show, this is where we talk about the news topics that happened in the scale world of RC over the past week. If you enjoy the Scale News Update regularly, hit the like button. Let's jump into this week's topics. First for this week, FreqEskinz has some new wraps for those of you who are H10 owners. If you've got an Optic already, you can pick up a number of new designs that he just added to the site, including some popular energy drinks, a media company you may have heard of in the past, as well as other famous brands like Sunoco. So you can go check out those for the H10. This is a full wrap that goes over top of the hard ABS panels, including the hood. So if you want to change up the look of that significantly, this is a great way to do it. Additionally, if you've been building one of the Jimmy's moon buggies that I've got the plans up for on my site, then you can pick up a number of those same designs for it as well. There's laser cut body panels available from Send for the Jimmy's buggy. And these wraps are made to that design, so it just gives you an easy option to complete the look of that buggy. Again, I'll put links to the FreqEskinz website where you can find all of these options on their site. See if there's one that fits your style. You can pick it up there. Speaking of my own things, I've got a few new products for you as well. First of all, I've got a new tubing bender. Tubing benders are one of the things that I get asked most, like, what are you using or what do you suggest? And it's always been hard because ones that I've used in the past can be really hard to get and take weeks to actually get to you after ordering. And it just was always up in the air and you had to find it from many different sources just trying to get everything put together. This new setup will come to you from Send, all the laser cut parts in one package. And then you'll get the download from my website and you'll 3D print your own separate pieces to go on there. Unlike a lot of other tube benders, the difference here is that the 3D printed parts are not being used to really supply the strength. They're just being used for like the handle and the guide or the shape of the actual die. But inside of the die, you have actual metal parts that are transferring that load through. Same goes for the base. Everything there is complete. You will have to supply your own hardware with it, but there's a full build list on what it will take. And I'll have a video up detailing exactly how to put it together and some of the tricks on how to use it. So if you're interested in that, watch for a new video on that coming very soon. Next on my site are some VFD shift levers. You'll find these in one download package, but there's a couple of options in there. First of all, there's a 3-lever and a 2-lever style shifter, and you can choose which one is most fitting for your application. And there's a fully 3D printable version of each in the download. But there's also an option in the download where you can just have the base printed, and then you can purchase separately the Send laser cut shift levers in case you want to add some more detail with some actual aluminum shift levers for inside of your build. So if you're interested in those, you'll find links to both my site and Send below. And lastly, you may have seen it in my Jimmy's 4x4 build, but if you need a driver and driver seat all 3D printed as one, I've added that to my website as well. Maybe an easy way to get a little bit more detail inside of your cabin without having to, get a doll and all that kind of stuff. So try that out. Links to all of those products below. Holmes Hobbies has brought back servos to their lineup. They used to make servos quite some time ago, and they had stopped doing that, cleared out inventory, and were kind of reevaluating and redesigning to bring out this version. This still retains the SHV 650 name. Well, this is the 650 LP, so low profile at that. Specs on this thing says 1 million cycle rated, super waterproof, Hall effect sensors, tons of power. It is a direct power as well. JST on the plug there to supply the power for that. All steel gears. It's like 700 ounce inches at 12.6, 800 at 14.4, and 900 at 16.8. So 3 and 4S LiPo direct power. You're gonna get the most out of it at 4S, but 3S is still plenty of power at that. Now this does have integrated protection in there for voltage spikes. It does say that you can take precautions or extra precautions to try and keep that from becoming much of an issue. But even the language that they put in there says that you don't have to run that to still even be covered under warranty. So nice to see, but it does specifically say over voltage snubber is integrated inside. But if you're interested in a new low profile servo option, check out Holmes Hobbies again. And while you're checking things out, go check out the channel membership. I have channel memberships available here. It just helps support the site a little bit more. And in turn, I also give you a number of extra behind the scenes videos or just candid stuff. Also do the After News Delight which is just a extended version of the news where I go a little bit more in depth of each of the topics that we cover. So, seems to be the favorite so far. If you're interested in channel membership, there's a link to find out more below, or you can hit the join button next to the channel name in your browser. So in addition to extra videos, you also get to see the videos that get posted, like the Scale News Update, early, like the night before. So check that out. Much appreciation to everybody who supports the channel in any way. This Wednesday, as always, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, live stream takeover. Come join us, talk about what's going on lately, what some of the new projects coming up are going to be, and when they're going to be. The end of the year is coming fast, and that means busy times and busy events, and we've got to get planning some of these things that we'd like to get executed. So come join in that discussion. And also thanks to rcmap.io for sponsoring this month of the Scale News Update. rcmap.io is a website as well as an app that you can get on your phone, and it'll just help you find places to go run your RC easier. There were some new spots in my area that were added last week that I had never heard of, never thought about, and looked to be in a really cool area. So it just helps to find places or have a new place to look forward to visiting. I've already added a big list of my favorites of places that I like to go and a list of places that I want to go so that I don't forget them the next time I've got a free afternoon and want to go burn a couple of packs. So when a spot gets added, it can have a YouTube video or photos attached to it as well, with some notes on how access is or how the terrain is, things like that. Just lots of great info on each spot is available. And you can go add some to a spot that somebody else added already as well. Go check out rcmap.io, maybe contribute some spots of your own as well while you're there. But thanks again to rcmap.io for supporting the Scale News Update. Redcat just released a pink version of the Ascent 18s. If I just go by my channel analytics, I'm gonna say that about 97% of you, that if you are interested in this, it's maybe for somebody else. But maybe just pink is your favorite color and or you wanna be different at the crawl. I don't know. You don't see a lot of just pink vehicles released. I know Traxxas used to do it on occasion, but good on Redcat. Rock Pirates just released some new comp sliders. Now, these are a laser cut and bent aluminum design here, but just a super compact, tight to the chassis option that gives you a place to mount either electronics or a battery. Now, this is a fairly universal style. It's said to fit most bodies, even the super narrow options that are out there. And the bolt pattern that they used on here is pretty universal as well, saying that it'll fit SCX platform, the Vanquish VRD as well, SCX3, TRX4 as well, the Element platforms, Kraken Pro, all kinds of options that these will fit. And just, again, super clean and minimal. It also comes with a separate tray that you can use for your battery. Clean, easy, and super affordable with free shipping, it shows on the site. So this looks like a great alternative to like the super minimalistic 3D printed style sliders. So just gives you that metal slider that you can throw around. You're not gonna break it. And at least you get to hear the metal against the rocks on occasion, which is always nice. I'll put a link below where you can go find all this information out on the Rock Pirates website. Next, Upgrade RC just released some double Cardan joints for the Axial AR45 axles, as well as the axles that come in the SCX Pro. So double Cardan joints, it's like 2 sets of CVDs attached with another barrel in the middle. It's something that's been done before in the rock crawler side of things, but was never super popular. It's also something that I believe has been seen more in like the higher speed areas. I know that you see them occasionally on like some of the Tamiya, aftermarket parts, but again, just not something that you see very often in our market. It'll be interesting to see if this is something that picks up any more speed. Again, we have seen them before in the straight axle crawlers or scale trucks in the past, but it just never stayed around for very long. Now, Upgrade RC, if you don't remember, that's a company that Amain acquired and then rebranded. It used to be a company that just made like sticker sets for radios and chargers in the bottom of chassis. Upgrade RC has recently released again, like the stickers for the bottom of chassis or chassis protectors, however they're calling them. And then they released all kinds of different like monster truck tires and such. But now we're seeing them come out with some hard parts like these axle shafts for a first time. So a brand that we can assume Amain is going to try and leverage more for this type of use. It's something that we'll definitely watch the progression of here over time. Hot RC, not a brand we talk about very often, but they pop up from time to time. Now, what was interesting about this is that Hot RC is releasing a new radio called the CT6B. Now, like the name would lend you to believe, this is an 8-channel radio, but even more interesting than that is that it's this super minimal design, you know, a single like lithium cell in the handle itself, no base to it, super tiny, little digital screen at the top. But this thing is supposed to retail for like $15, which is wildly cheap. I've actually owned one of the Hot RC radios in the past. This one, the fighter pilot style, where it had the trigger and then the joystick for steering. It had cruise control and a bunch of other, and I think it was actually a 3-channel radio. Yeah, it is. Or 4-channel. This is a 4-channel radio. I think it was like $17, but they also do some OEM work. I believe that the Hot RC is what came with that Relarlo 1/7 scale Jeep. So they're making a number of radios, OEMing different places, but 8-channel radio, just over 15 bucks this thing is supposed to come out at. I haven't seen it officially hit retailers yet, as it was just announced, and I've so far only seen it overseas as far as advertising goes. If you're in need of a wildly inexpensive radio with a bunch of, if you're looking for a wildly inexpensive radio with a bunch of channels, this could be the one. And today from Proline, we got a new teaser, which is pretty obvious, but it looks like Proline's gonna be giving us some true metal spoked wheels for the Losi Pro Moto. You know, you're not hiding much in this photo. I mean, you should be able to figure it out pretty quickly, right? It's not the first set of metal spoked wheels that we've seen come out for the Pro Moto, but these appear like they're coming from Proline directly, so looking forward to seeing more. I always thought it was impressive when I saw the first set of truly, you know, metal spoked wheels, and no different here. I assume that we'll see the full release of these by the next scale news, so we'll have to see what the final cost is going to be. I feel like these got to be in that $130 range, $150 range, somewhere in there. That's my guess, at least. Put your guess below. But that does it for this week's news topics. For this week's question, I want to ask you, are you where you want to be in the hobby? The RC hobby, this hobby specifically. And that can mean a ton of different things. It can mean your skill set as a builder or a racer, a tuner, or it can be your desire to want to be involved more in the industry on a professional level. Are you currently where you want to be or on the path to get there? And if not, what's the next step that you need to take, or what's in the way? What can help you get to the next place? I want to hear what you guys have to say about this one, so put your comments down below. Your comments are my favorite part of the Scale News Update. I read through those every week, so thanks as always on that side of things. But as always, thanks for watching. Most importantly, hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Consider joining the channel membership if you'd like to support the Scale News a little bit more. But otherwise, as always, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.